everyone, I loved rereading Jujutsu Kaisen, and now I get to share how much I loved reading One Punch Man too. But enough about me, let's get this party started. These fights will be taking place as if Gojo was in One Punch Man, without universe equalization with one exception. The only thing Gojo will be gifted is FTL/FTL+. This is fair considering his competition. In One Punch Man, there are heroes, but also mysterious beings. Mysterious beings can start at almost anything: people, aliens, objects, or in other words, anything that can become a monster. These mysterious beings are categorized by their disaster level. For this video, all of these monsters are dragon level. Dragon level monsters are extremely strong, second only to god level threats, the difference being city level versus planetary. This is not exactly one character in particular, but the monsters, especially the ones blessed by God, are susceptible to fear. Similar to in JJK, monsters are weaker than heroes due to their feral nature, and this leads to weak justifications to fight. These justifications are based purely by emotion and not self-belief, and are easily exploited by someone stronger. In a situation where a monster is put into a corner, this fear seeps into the monster. This results in the monster being blessed, but this power is not their own, like a limiter on their potential. The animalistic nature is something that Gojo could potentially manipulate, with most of this list not being particularly intelligent. As the first executive we see, Elder Centipede is pretty strong, able to survive big attacks from Genos, Bang, and Bomb. All three of these characters are S-class heroes, but this big bug has not gone against a special great sorcerer. Elder Centipede is highly resistant to physical attacks and blasts of energies, but only to a point. We see this when Saitama blows him up with a single punch. Gojo will not be able to do this exactly, with a body able to regenerate and become stronger as well as larger when dealt a non-fatal blow. Elder Centipede has Gojo in a pickle. As a character who is very adaptable himself, Gojo would break off the head segment of the Elder Centipede. Now, with a piece small enough to fit his domain expansion, Gojo expands his domain, using reverse curse technique to have healed the part of his brain engraved with his curse technique. Gojo disintegrates this dragon level threat. Rover is a big dog, dwarfing Garou in their fight, and taking his best punch at the time. This is a bit ridiculous, but you need to command Rover to defeat him to some degree, but there is a lot of power needed for such a feat. Fortunately for Gojo here, it is very in character for him to talk shit. The fight lies in the balance of Gojo saying "sit doggy" while beating up this massive dog. As a very compassionate character who we have seen adopt people before, it's not too far-fetched to say that Gojo would keep Rover as a pet. This would be the end of the fight, as Rover is not capable of damaging Gojo, and in the end, like a good dog, he would roll over. Nyan is extremely fast, able to catch Puri prisoner off guard and deal significant damage to the bottom-ranked S-class heroes. However, this is something Puri shrugs off, so it's not that great of a feat. Nyan is also very agile, able to escape being tied up, and as well as being able to squeeze into any surface 3mm or more. This allows him to enter an opponent via their orifices, damaging them from the inside, which is extra effective when you consider his slashes generate massive shockwaves. Of course, this wouldn't work on Gojo due to Infinity, and Nyan would ended up rolling over right next to Rover. Black sperm is literally a sentient sperm, powered by protein just like in real life. This black sperm exists as trillions of individual black sperm. Even in his weakest form, this black sperm can fight against Atomic Samurai, the third-ranked S-class hero. This form would be whittled down by Gojo like Atomic Samurai was doing to him as well. His strongest ability here is how many cells he has at his disposal. Instead of dying when he is killed, his extra cells act like a hydra, splitting in two. This is limited by how many cells he has at his disposal. Testy, as you would expect for a sperm, black sperm is easily enraged. Instead of being egged on by fur ugly, Gojo would definitely call this overgrown sperm gross. Harnessing the rage from being easily offended, black sperm ascends to golden sperm, able to shrug off attacks from the vicious acid of her ugly. This durability does not defend him from Atomic Samurai using his new overpowered sword, cutting off his arm worth 12 trillion sperm. Bypassing his durability like Atomic Samurai, with Hollow Purple, Gojo disintegrates golden sperm. Continuing his mockery, Gojo spurs golden sperm to go even farther, platinum sperm, finally becoming the one being with the power of 52 trillion sperm cells with a single purpose: killing those who make him feel weak. We don't even get to see what this form does, as with Garou, Gojo is sure of himself, not needing the support of a teacher to push him forward. Gojo surges with this power of his students that he cares about so much. As the Honor One, he cannot let this menace live. Another form that still cannot bypass infinity and still cannot withstand Gojo's durability bypassing attacks, Platinum Sperm loses. The fight goes on, and even if they can't damage each other, Gojo accelerates his growth along with Platinum Sperm. Gojo pushes his way to his limit, arguing with a sperm. Homeless Emperor is a human, so why did he become a monster? Before being a monster, Homeless Emperor was a salaryman, though he lost his job due to hazing. This hatred for humanity, specifically how he was wrong, leads him to feel as if humans are a plague on the planet. This feeling and the moment of extreme weakness is when God appears in front of Homeless Emperor, giving him the ability to emit energy balls. This gift is only for those who follow God's plan, and this man falls into this. Making the mistake of telling anyone who gave him this gift makes God not only take away his powers, but also kill him. I figured I would tell you guys about his lore because his energy balls cannot bypass infinity, and he would be killed even without Gojo tricking him. Blocking any offense, Gojo scoffs at the impotency about a guy rambling about how society sucks like the Joker. Able to deflect attacks on his own, Homeless Emperor is still helpless against the attack originating on his position. Gojo, using maximum output blue, crushes this would-be emperor. Evil natural water is strange even for a monster, as they are water but evil. This is not the only thing that they have going for them though, as water can absorb any liquid it touches, not just water. For this, we will draw a line in the sand, we'll draw a line in the water. One with and without prep time. Without prep time, evil natural water loses in this case, as Gojo traps it in a barrier with either domain expansion or a curtain. This would leave Gojo all the time in the world to defeat this monster's puddle, erasing any last drop with Hollow Purple. When it comes to evil ocean water, the story is a little bit different. Not only can Gojo not contain an ocean, but in the process of trying to destroy the ocean, Gojo would run out of water himself. This is what you may think would be the case, but in actuality, evil ocean water and evil natural water would have its heart vaporized by Gojo, though it would likely take him a lot longer than in its regular form. As stated by the webcomic, if you vaporize the heart of evil natural water, you can kill it. Bailed out by the Six Eyes, Gojo can sense the heart of evil natural water. Gojo would need to take this fight seriously, both taking off his blindfold and using Hollow Purple to win. Fear Her Ugly is strong enough to take out heavily damaged and exhausted Tatsumaki, and break the arm of Tank Top Master, both of those being S-Class heroes. This is not an easy feat. Having crushed Tank Top Master, Fear Her Ugly tosses him to Gums. Time for some quick info on this guy. Gums is practically featless, outside of trying and failing to eat people. His fatal mistake was trying to eat Ugly, failing to digest him. Gums gets ripped to twain. Coated now in Gums' stomach acid, vomited Fear Her Ugly with all of his prior strength now combined with acid. This new form is unstable, as Ugly is melting in the acid, but he could repair himself by eating protein, including himself. With this disgusting amp, is able to corrode alloy Darkshine and destroy people's swords. So this is all to say that he can't do anything to Gojo, as he would just fall apart if he was hit by Infinite Void. Orochi is the king of monsters, or at least that's what the person who made him wants you to think. Orochi is very strong, but Gojo would still beat him with Hollow Purple and Infinite Void. I'll keep this extra short because Orochi has a greater purpose to serve as a puppet. Even just as a puddle, Orochi still lingers. Psychosis considers herself to be the master of Orochi, constantly using her telepathy on her. The real leader, perhaps, of the entire monster association, Psychosis is a powerful ESPer. This allows her to bypass infinity, but Gojo might be able to handle her. Psychosis is not a one-trick pony. She puffs herself with a psychic potion. As telekinesis can affect another person, ignoring the difference between the user, Psychosis would at least be able to damage Gojo. Though I'm going to leave this one 50-50, but act like she would need a power up because she has a way cooler form. Psychosis refuses the reality in front of her. After all, how could the monster mind between the Monster Association possibly fail? This is where Orochi comes in, as he's the most successful experiment so far. Orochi actually feigned being in control this entire time, as this moment was destiny. Speaking of destiny, Gojo has a date with God. As failing to fuse with her ultimate creation, Psychosis has lost to fear. Claiming to be the master of Orochi, while vying for control of Orochi while being absorbed by him is quite ironic. God takes this opportunity to correct her on whose Orochi's true master is and to bless her, as God stands above all monsters, like this mural here. Psychosis Orochi not only has psychic abilities, but now has the absorption ability of Orochi, and is the king of monsters. and can truly crush Gojo. Even if you think Gojo could take 300 times Earth gravity with Psychosis potion form, this fusion is perfect. Psychosis Orochi slices off a huge portion of the Earth's crust with one beam, and threatens to consume the very planet as Orochi consumes more of Earth. Gojo cannot use domain expansion here, as Psychosis Orochi is way too large for it to be able to hit. Psychosis Orochi ultimately wins, and the form is very cool. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this one, I will do a Gojo versus the S-Class heroes as well. Just let me know in the comments.